Okay, so you know that nightmare scenario. You're running a big live event, it's high stakes, huge conference room,
Hmm.
and you've got maybe 16 different sources, laptops, cameras, Blu-ray players, everything,
Okay.
and they all need to hit one single screen without a single glitch.
Oh yeah, that's the AV Tech's version of air traffic control. One wrong move, just one bad cable, and the entire screen just goes black.
Exactly. And that's precisely why we're doing a deep dive on the Kramer VS-161H today, specifically the 21/16x1 and 7010 model.
Right.
We pulled the specs, and the whole mission here is to figure out how you bring order to that level of, pure chaos. This is not your living room HDMI splitter.
Not even close, no.
No.
This is a 16 by 1 switcher. And that density 16 inputs down to just one output that's built for the rental and staging market.
Surely professional.
You don't buy this unless you have a whole rack of gear that needs to be ready to go live at, like, a moment's notice.
So let's talk signal integrity first. In a normal home setup, right, you run a 50-foot HDMI cable. You might start to see some sparklies or the signal just dropping out.
Yeah, degradation.
How does this Kramer unit handle that kind of distance, but across 16 different ports?
Well, they use this proprietary tech they call equalization and reclocking. And that's clocking with a K.
Okay, that sounds a little bit like marketing jargon. What's it actually doing to the signal?
It's actually, it's vital for digital signals. See, a cheap booster just amplifies everything, the signal and the noise.
Yeah.
It's like making the static louder.
Right.
This unit, it actually decodes the incoming digital video. It rebuilds it. I mean, it literally reconstructs the timing and the data, and then it sends a totally pristine, clean signal out the other side.
So you're not just shouting the message louder down the line, you're basically rewriting the letter so it's perfectly legible again.
That is a perfect way to put it. Yeah. It lets you run much longer cables without all that digital breakup you see with consumer gear. It's pushing up to 4.95 Gbps, which keep your 1080p rock solid.
Okay, so that handles signal quality. What about the other huge pain point in a setup this big, the handshake?
The dreaded eat eye problem.
Yeah, I plug my laptop in, and the projector just spends 10 seconds flickering, trying to figure out the resolution. In a live keynote, that 10 seconds feels like an eternity.
It is an eternity. And that's what Kramer solves with something they call IED Pro.
Which, if I'm understanding it right, effectively fakes the handshake.
Essentially, yes. The switcher itself has non-volatile memory, so it learns and stores the display's EDID information.
So the laptop doesn't even know it's been switched.
As far as your laptop's concerned, it is always connected directly to that monitor. When you switch inputs, the connection feels instant because that negotiation, that handshake, it already happened in the background.
That plug-and-play promise is usually kind of a lie, but it sounds like they've actually engineered the friction right out of it here.
They have. And they've also engineered out human error, too, with a front panel lockout feature.
Ah, that don't touch that button.
It's so crucial for public spaces. You
Yeah.
really don't want a nervous presenter or just some curious kid leaning on the rack and accidentally changing the input mid-show.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So you could just lock the physical buttons and control it all from an IR remote or, RS-232 or Ethernet.
And speaking of the rack, it looks like a standard 19-inch 1U build, metal construction. It's definitely made to be durable.
Oh yeah, it's industrial grade.
I'm looking at the price here on HDTV Supply. They're the Wolfpack brand guys, and it's discounted, but it's still around $1,188.
Which, for professional staging gear, is actually a pretty good deal. But it's obviously massive overkill for a home theater.
Of course.
You're paying for that reliability, that reclocking and the instant switching. That's the value.
It really frames the Kramer VS-161H as, I don't know, an insurance policy. You're not just paying for the video to get from A to B, you're paying to guarantee the video actually appears the second you press the button.
It's about removing variables. That's the entire job in a live environment.
It does make me wonder, though, as our own home offices get more and more complex, multiple monitors, streaming decks, different computers, we're starting to see this prosumer gear creep in. At what point do we all need, reclocking technology just to get through a Zoom call without a screen flicker?
So that line between a broadcast studio and a home office, it gets blurrier every single year.
Something to think about next time your monitor flickers. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.